Well, thank you for staying with us. You're watching NTV Tonight as we continue with our conversation with David Murathe, the Vice Chairperson of the Jubilee Party, and some of the latest happenings within that party and also just around the political developments nationally in the country. What we did see was the retired President Uhuru Kenyatta, making his way to the Jubilee headquarters today, where there was that scuffle. And, some of the other members within the Jubilee Party have continuously accused him of being silent, failing to steer the ship when he needed to. And we saw him today make that appearance and make some very strong statements on the same, saying, us, we are fighting for our party. If you want to leave, you can leave. So let me ask you, with the president's remarks, is it going to change the fortunes of the Jubilee Party, which you can agree is not the same Jubilee Party that we knew of in 2016?
I think what the president is saying is that enough is enough. The president has given this government space. He has kept off. He has let them cook in their own fat. The president was running this country with programs, paying salaries, doing projects, infrastructure. He did the highest number of electricity connectivity, 80%. He did more road than all the 4 previous governments combined. He did the universal health care. He was paying debts. He was paying salaries. Counties were getting money. There is not a time that this government of Jubilee failed its obligations. Today, these people purport to be collecting more taxes than the Jubilee government ever did. And so the question people are asking is, where is this money going? Because they cannot pay salaries, they are not paying counties, all the infrastructure project stopped.
The Kenya Kwanza leadership took over power, saying that the economy of the country was in a terrible state. Look, last month, the controller of budget made some very damning remarks, how the former regime pushed her to release, 15.5 billion under duress?
I didn't want to go there because the current president was the deputy president in the former government. The present majority leader was the chair of the budget committee in parliament in the previous administration. All those guys who are talking about debts and about all those things were in that government. They were in that parliament. Passing all these things, were they all passing under duress? And by the way, for your information, when Kibaki took over the government from Moi was collecting 191 billion shillings. Kibaki, on a wheelchair, announced children to go for free primary education the next Monday, because he was sworn in on a Friday, Saturday, on a wheelchair. And he didn't care how to do it. He was going to hit the ground running, because he knows government collects money on a daily basis. It's how you apply and distribute that money. Kibaki grew this economy to close to 8 trillion. These guys, when they came, they said they wanted to do the Kibakinomics. They wanted to operate like Kibaki. They should have started where Kibaki started. All right? Uhuru grew it to 13 trillion by the time he was leaving office.
But by the time he was leaving office, what was the debt?
It's not like you go into a granary and you find a stack of money. Government collects money every day and then allocates it. You allocate for the contingency fund, you allocate for salaries, recurrent, and development. And you raise that money every day. You pay taxes every day. They're saying they're collecting more taxes every day. Now, they're even on a borrowing spree, which they said they would not borrow. They stopped the kazi mtaani for the young people. They removed the subsidies on food. They removed the money for the elderly. But you actually wonder, the elephant in the room is, are they not collecting enough money? And if they are, where is this money going?
Well, you've talked about many things, but just very quickly, when you talk about the issue of the subsidies, we've had many economic experts saying that this is the right thing to do, that subsidies were not sustainable, and that in the long run, it would be the best thing for the economy of this country. And I know we were not going to get much deeper into the issues of the economy. We will not, but I will just give you one example. Right. When COVID hit, the United States government came up with a stimulus program where they gave people money, they put money in your pocket so that you go to the supermarket and order for bread. And the guy who makes bread, the bakery,
has now demand. And the guy who grows wheat has demand. So you have a multiplier effect. Uhuru was the first president here who did an economic stimulus package for this country under the presidency of Kibaki. These people now are going back reneging, number one, on their manifesto pledges, and number two, they are actually now subsidizing. What do you call this thing about importing duty-free maize? It's subsidies. Where is the cost of fertilizer at 3,500 instead of 6,000? It's subsidy. They are subsidizing the wrong thing, but they are actually doing subsidies.
Okay.
I saw their chief economist, David D, on another station, saying the problem they are having in this government is wastage.
And not just this government, he actually said governments.
He was talking about this one.
And
He's the chief economic advisor.
Right, and he did mention that the issue is the wastage of resources in government.
They are the ones in government. Then do something about it.
My last question, Mr. Murathe, because we've run out of time, is this issue. The bipartisan talk seems to have collapsed at this point. The Azimio coalition, you can tell us really where we are in terms of the talks, and also then the Azimio coalition now has given a notice of maandamano on the 2nd of May, I believe. One of the biggest issue that there has been a stalemate on this talks is the inclusion of Aiden Kainan, the eldest member of parliament, who's a Jubilee member of parliament, but is part of the members within the Kenya Kwanza committee. So where does this then leave the talks? And also, you've been missing in action on the maandamano. We've not seen you.
The reason I'll be on the maandamano and I'll be in the airport to receive Raila Amolo Odinga is because these people were looking for an excuse. You see Murathe, you see Uhuru. They have always been trying to link these maandamanos to the former president. So some of us have deliberately tried not to be out there, although we are firmly in Azimio. Now, the talks were never meant to succeed. Let me start there. Actually, appointing a Jubilee member, an Azimio member, to be a member of the Kenya Kwanza team in negotiations was actually to spite the entire process. These guys had no good faith. They never actually intended to do it. We are not going to do it. And by the way we resolved the Kenyan issues when we had such a similar stalemate is when you had Kiraitos of this world, Orengos of this world, they met out in Windsor, and then they brought their report to Parliament for adoption. These guys are rejecting the extra parliamentary, where you're going to involve the media, you're going to involve the civil society, you're going to involve the religious sector, not just politicians. Who says MPs are the only ones who have a panacea for the solutions bedeviling this country? It has to have even public participation. They never intended this process to work. They were looking for an excuse to remove the steam from the maandamano, and I am assuring them next week on the 2nd,
you'll be there.
I personally will be there.
And I think we have to end it there because we have sadly run out of time completely, Bona Murathe, but thank you so much for coming this morning.
It's nice to have me.
And sharing this.
Zainab, now got it.
Yes, Zainab.
And Nation, it's beautiful that you were able to even get the registrar to set the record straight so that we do not have any more pretenders to the throne.
Thank you. Let's have that break. We're going to be back. David Murathe, Vice Chair of the Jubilee Party.